Hey there, Tesak here, and video has been uploaded to my channel named Point 236. The full playthrough and exploration of the game. Or something like that. I don't really know the final name, because I'm recording this video prior to even uploading or rendering the previous one. Point is, that video by itself has little to no value to most of the people, but as is custom to my channel, I want it to be readily available for people who might want to check it out, or maybe they want to see some parts of it for a reference, childhood memories, nostalgia, or just out of curiosity. The video is of a game where the player takes on the role of an ant soldier and is sent to bravely dispatch all the other bugs, worms, and spiders that stand in between him and the mysterious Point 236, which is bottle of liquor. The ant starts with just a small pistol and no armor whatsoever, but there are various armor pieces scattered through the game, together with 2 new weapons, and of course there are healing drops of presumably liquor, at least given by the color. The liquor in question is what we call in Czech simply as Becherovka, and you either love it or you hate it. That's beside the point, because I would like to talk about why this game exists, my opinion on it, where it fits on my channel, and why I even spent one whole afternoon making these 2 videos. Let's start with the why. If you would go online and Google for Becher games, you might quickly realize that the company producing this liquor has been connected to game development for quite some time. Or you might not even be able to find anything because Google and internet just is like that in 2026. But that's besides the point. Through the early 2000s, there has been an annual contest organized by this company that served as a challenge for independent game developers across Czechia to come forward, develop a freeware experience where the liquor would be the centerpiece. In exchange, the developers would get prize money or computer components and publicity associated with the huge liquor company. And the Point 236 has won a 2nd place in the 2nd year of the competition. This year specifically has been pretty successful, since beside Point 236, it gave birth to some pretty cool local indie titles. But we might talk about those some other day, maybe. The important part is that everyone has been playing Point 236 for quite some time. I remember a good portion of my classmates talking about this game and playing it. It has been quite challenging as well for the time being, mainly because of the poor controls. Early 2000s were a different place and different time in Czechia, and the quality bar has been virtually non-existent. And we had only limited access to quality titles from across the board. This is not a critique to the game or the author of this game either, because I don't know how long and under what circumstances the game has been developed. To my knowledge, it's been a one-man show, and the sole point of this game might have been to submit it for the contest. And honestly, I remember playing this with my father on our family computer, looking at the graphics and being blown away. We were used to the 2D apogee side-scrollers like Biomenace, top-down strategy games, and from the 3D world we only knew some racing titles like the very old Colin McRae Rally. On the other hand, the game doesn't have any indicators or UI whatsoever. It's basically a corridor shooter with poor camera controls. The HP is indicated by the ant's color. You start as a black ant and taking damage makes your character turn red slowly. This is quite creative and unique approach. The only issue is that to be able to meaningfully play the game and aim, you gotta play it in the first person view, where the character is not visible at all. Taking damage won't get you notified by any way or form either, so if any of those foes sneaks up on you from behind, you won't know unless you just flick around or die out of nowhere. This is why I'm always checking my bag, as I vividly remember losing my precious limited time on family computer to a single bug or worm that I did not notice. The game can be ruthless, as even 2 or 3 stronger enemies attacking you at once can be lethal, but if you take a bit more cautious approach, or abuse the infamous strafing exploit we know and love from many other games, the game becomes rather easy, and the only limiting factor are the poor controls. which can be solved by simply playing in the first person view as well. It's a good nostalgia trip for me, and I can imagine for many other Czech gamers, but I highly doubt anyone who doesn't have any emotional attachment to this game would rate it any higher than 1 out of 5. Knowing where it came from and having my nostalgia about having 1, maybe 2 hours of allowed playtime on weekends, and that's when I had good grades at school and it's been raining outside, I gotta give this game 3 out of 5. This game is essentially what convinced me to try other 3D games, and eventually led me on the path of giving Crossfire and World of Warcraft a chance. Prior to this, I despised 3D games. 3D games has been ugly mess of dirty textures, bad controls and questionable performance. I mean, this is not different, especially in retrospect, but it had the correct mixture of simplicity, difficulty and rather unique idea. So far, we covered the first 2 topics. What is this game and what my opinion on it is. But how does it fit to my channel and why is it here? Well, I like to collect footage from various rare-ish games and preserve it for the sake of nostalgia, not even for me, but for other like-minded people as well. This has been the case with Troll, Jets and Guns, Biomenace, Space Rangers and Glass so far. I will for sure add more games to this list over time, but I need to be in special mood to make video like this, or even just to play through the games. Especially because with the old games, it's not just about firing it up and recording it. A lot of these games want to run properly, need a lot of tweaking, sometimes a little bit of reverse engineering of files, editing, some configs, and that's just to make it run, not properly. Sometimes I have to even start up virtual Windows XP to make it even run, and sometimes it doesn't even run on the virtual Windows XP and I literally have to whip out my old ass laptop and just run it on my old laptop where I cannot record anything. And to deal with that kind of stuff, I first need some kind of special nostalgia or memory to kick in, remind me of some unfinished business I have with this kind of games, and this combination of stuff leads me down the slippery slope of making sure I can attempt to do that years later. Like for example, for Jets and Guns, it's been the outro music for beating up the last boss and finishing the tech demo, where an early version of Sid Styler by Machine Supremacy played. To my knowledge, it's not available anywhere online, and Shazam and other services had very rough time trying to identify it. They were unable to identify it. I had to find it in the files of the demo version, and it luckily had a file information filled out with, and I quote, Sid Styler introduction, which led me on a googling spree where I connected it to Machine Supremacy, the band that made the OST for the final version of the game, and there I found out the track is actually just called Sid Styler, which has tweaked version of the original tech demo music track in it. But the original tech demo track is probably just that, a demo version for demo version. It's not available anywhere. For Troll, it's been my obsession with finding the full version of the game and finishing it. Well, it wasn't available anywhere, not even on the Raken Grass website. It wasn't available for purchase at the time. I think you can buy it on Steam right now, or maybe just on their website. But when I was making the video, only the demo version was available and the full version was literally unavailable anywhere on the internet. I think I got it from someone else. For Glass, it's been just the sheer unavailability of the original demo version and so on. For Point 236, it's different. It's the fact that about 23 years ago, someone at elementary school told me that there is a Gatling gun available somewhere hidden in the level. Sure, I didn't believe him back then, and I knew damn well there won't be any Gatling gun this time around either. But I went back and explored the game anyway, because I thought, you know what? This has been like a single person project, and there must be some like out of bounds glitches or something like that. And that's literally what I did. I finished the game and then I ran around trying to glitch out of the play area. And I actually found this cool out of bounds spot where you can wall climb at the outer walls of the final area and explore around. As is custom to all my playthroughs, I wiped out every single bug making sure I truly get rid of them. And then I collected the liquor. Game over. But I have one more interesting fact about this game, and that's the ant is actually slowly regenerating HP when not being damaged. I discovered this because once upon a time I tried to do no health, no upgrades, no defense, no extra weapons pickup challenge when I was like 11 years old, and the ants kept healing back to full HP when I was just running around in between fights. It's also pretty insane that the default weapon deals like no damage in comparison to the last weapon, which one-shots most of the early game bugs. But yeah, I don't really think I have much more to say. I think I exhausted this whole topic. If you want to see the full playthrough of this game, together with me exploring the out of the bounds spot I found, make sure to check it on my channel. It should be a link to this video, but who knows how it's gonna work in the future. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe. And hey, I think I covered everything I wanted, so thank you very much for watching, take care and bye.